motion, we have a second. We have to deal with it. I will state right now, I'm not prepared to support the motion. I don't think it's well timed. The library board hasn't had a chance to defend itself. I think it deserves that. I wanted to say that before I called the question. So I will call the question. All in support of Mr. Bunky's motion, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
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 The motion fails. Do you have anything to say, Mr. Robertson?
I'm just wondering if you know, how much of your objection is the location and how much of it is something else?
The location is a big part of it, probably the biggest part. Taking on another, whatever it is, another $2.2 million loan obligation is untenable.
I don't think you're going to find anybody here that will support that.
I wouldn't support it.
But I think they deserve the chance to succeed or fail on their merits. I would say that. I mean,
Yes, sir.
They're going to have to succeed or fail.
May I ask Susan a question?
Absolutely, please.
When I was mayor, you brought in a plan that extended the library to the west. You still have that?
It's around. There were a lot of objections to going that way. Mostly because of a one entrance building, so the entrance on the highway would have to be closed. And because that entrance could not be made handicapped accessible. It's too close to the highway. So the entrance had to be in the back. And we thought with the one-way streets, lack of sidewalks, going into the Veterans Memorial Park didn't make a lot of people happy. We were like we were into round 2 of the contracts with architects when that one failed.
I was just wondering.
Susan, I'm going to ask you, has the RP school board been approached about possible consolidation of the city and public library?
Yeah, we did that about 4 years ago. We met with people from the state. We met with Lanesboro, who was also thinking of the same thing, and we met with the school board. And we all were in this room, about 35 people. And the state explained all the things you have to do in order to be a cooperative together library, the pros and the cons. It's been tried 35 times in the state, and it's only succeeded twice. Lanesboro at that meeting decided right then and there that wasn't anything they were going to pursue. Weighing the options, our library board decided they did not want to pursue, and so did the school library board, the school board. Now back in 2000, when I think it was 2000, the referendum for the new school, that included City Hall, library, school, all government agencies in one building, and that, of course, that failed.
Any more comment on this? I think we need, like I said, I don't think this motion was fair to the library board. I think we need, I met on Saturday with the library board. You weren't there. And we talked about a few things, and I had thrown out options out there, and they said this has been discussed. The same thing with the school board. I have no idea that they even, I just knew historically, I had read an article a few years ago about combination library. I had just read it. That was just knowledge I had. I had no idea that you guys had actually approached them. Well, if I didn't know that, who else has known that? I think there's a lot of information about this process that the library board can do a much better job of making public. Whatever way, putting it on their website, letters to the editor, speaking here. Well, people don't know it. And if it's simply there, well, you need to hammer people over the head with the information then to get it out there. And the library board needs to do a better job. And I'm on the library board, so I will be working to get that information out there. Doesn't mean we're going to proceed as we are. We got to make the best fiscal decision, but we need to be fair to the library board. We must. I've talked a lot more than I care to at a meeting right now, so.
Mr. Mayor,
Do we wish?
if I may just add, I think in the interim on, is it July 8th, that
Yes.
USDA is coming up Thursday, I would encourage, all of you to try and be there, interact, because these are the USDA people. Ask them the questions that are on your mind regarding what they're offering, and determine for yourself, whether or not they are flexible. And I believe they are. And yes, they have a plan.
Flexible how?
Well, for example, because what concerned me is we submit a plan, and then let's say you build just a library and no city hall. Would that be reason for them to say, oh, you didn't build what you said you were going to build, pull it back? No. They are flexible because the main purpose of the application in the beginning was the library. So if it was a library and then we're suddenly building a hog barn, that would be a different challenge for them. Then they would find that you were out of compliance with the plan. But from what my meeting with them, I see a very open, caring group that truly wants to help Rushford. And whatever concerns, and maybe you stumble onto something else they can help us with. Maybe they have additional funds we haven't attacked.
I don't think anybody is saying they don't care.
No, I know, but I encourage you to go to that meeting to at least expose yourself to those people so that we get a feeling for whether they're a good partner to even work with. Because we may want to work with them, and then again, we might not.
What time is this meeting?
11.
Right here?
No.
Starts
No,
here.
over in the sand pile. Right now.
It starts here.
Starts here in case of bad weather.
Okay.
And then we'll move down. But they will have the entire leadership covered from the USDA at the state of Minnesota. And I think that's a great opportunity. If nothing comes of this, and if we do turn it down, at least we will have met them and they'll understand who we are. And that's important.
Will you send out an email reminder to us,
Yes.
Kathy or somebody?
I understand what you're saying, but I don't know that having all of us stand out there with the USDA gives the impression we're gonna move forward with this, and
No, I think that's where, Ted, you tell them you have reservations.
but it doesn't have anything to do with them.
No, but you tell me you have reservations whether we as a community can actually pull this off. Because we know we're trying to keep our costs down. And if you want to, you verify whether you can keep the $250,000 if you pay the loan back. That's the kind of thing informally you need to ask them to make sure that the answers I've gotten are the same answers you get. Because we want to make sure that's true. Because I agree with you. If we lose the $250,000 because we don't borrow $2.2 million, we might as well end it now. Then I would agree with Mark. But that's not what we've been told. And that is a huge piece for that library. Doesn't, for some projects it doesn't sound like a lot, but for that library, that $250,000 is huge. Now, I can't do anything about the location for you. We can talk about alternate sites, maybe there's some way to trade, I don't know. I don't know what other sites you had in mind, but we certainly could take a look at it. I only got into that because of that guy.
I think if you're going to have a meeting with them,
I'm sorry, this is not a public hearing. Thank you.
Should I move on?
Because we can.